I stepped down onto the car with my left foot as gingerly as I could, hoping that any movement of the car caused by my climbing onto it would be masked by his exiting. Not that it was easy to do. My thigh muscles spasmed with cramp and my fingers were locked into place. I stepped slowly back with my vibrating right foot until I was standing on top of the elevator. My cramped fingers still gripped the frame. I felt very much the fool. "Hall is empty!" a distant voice called out. "Take a reading from the proximity recorder." There were muttered grumbles and clattering from outside as I wrenched my right hand free of the greasy metal, reached over with it to grapple with my still recalcitrant left hand. "Got a reading for myself. Other than that, the last movement in the corridor was at 1800. People going home." "Then we do have a mystery," Two Stripes said. "Come on back. We had a readout that showed this car going up to this floor. We called it back from this floor. Now you tell me that no one got out? A mystery." "That's no mystery, that's just a malfunction. A glitch in the computer. The thing is giving itself instructions when no one else will." Much as I hate to agree, I agree. Let's go back and finish the card game." One Stripe returned. The elevator door closed. I sat down as quietly as I could, and we all dropped back down the shaft together. The guards got out at the prison floor, and I just sat there in creaking silence as I kneaded the knots out of my muscles with trembling fingers. When they were roughly under control again, I opened the hatch that I was sitting on, dropped down into the car, and looked out slowly and carefully. The card players were out of sight in the guardroom, where they belonged. With infinite caution, I retraced the route I had taken during my abortive escape, slinking guiltily along the walls. If I had a tail, it would have been between my legs, making a fumbled hash of opening the locked corridor doors with my lockpick, finally reaching my own cell, unlocking and relocking it, slipping the lockpick back into my shoe sole, dropping onto my bed with a sigh that must have been heard around the world. I did not dare speak out loud in the sleeping silence of the cell block, but I did shout the words inside my head. "Jim, you are the dumbest, most moronic idiot who ever came down the pike. Don't, and I repeat, don't ever do anything like that again." "I won't," I promised in grim silence. That message had now been well drilled into my medulla oblongata. The truth was inescapable. I had done everything wrong in my eagerness to get out of prison. Now I would see if I could get it right. I had been in too much of a rush. There should never have been any hurry. After he had arrested me, Captain Varad, strongman of the League Navy, had admitted that he knew all about the lockpick that I had hidden. He did not like prisons, he had told me that. Although he was a firm believer in law and order, he did not believe I should be incarcerated on my home planet, bid a heaven, for all of the troubles that I had caused there. Neither, for that matter, did I. Since he knew I had the lockpick, I should have bided my time, waited to make my escape during the transfer out of this place. During the transfer. It had never been my intention of doing anything but serve my time here in this heavily guarded and technologically protected prison, in the middle of the League building, in the center of the League base, on this planet called Steren-Gwandra, about which I knew absolutely nothing other than its name. I had been enjoying the rest, and the meals, a real pleasure after the rigors of war on Spyavente and the disgusting slop that passed for food there. I should have kept on enjoying, building my strength in preparation for my imminent freedom. So why had I tried to crack out of here? Because of her, a woman, female creature briefly seen and instantly recognized. One glimpse and all reason had fled, emotion had ruled, and I had attempted my disastrous escape. More fool I grimaced at the memory, recalling all too clearly how this idiot adventure had begun. It had been during our afternoon exercise period, that wildly exciting occasion when the prisoners were let out of their cells and permitted to shuffle around the ferro-concrete yard under the gentle light of the double suns. I shuffled with the rest and tried to ignore my companions. Low foreheads, joined eyebrows, pendulous and drool-flecked lips. A very unsatisfactory peer group of petty criminals that I was ashamed to be a part of. Then something had stirred them. Some unaccustomed novelty that had excited their feeble intellects and had caused them to rush toward the chain-link fence emitting hoarse cries and vulgar exhortations. Numbed by the monotony of prison life, even I had felt a twinge of curiosity and desire to see what had caused this explosion of unfamiliar emotion. It should have been obvious. Women. That and strong drink.